Here we are with another Friday Night Live, October 21st, 2022. Has some challenges logging in, keeps crashing. So, hopefully it gets sorted out sooner or later. I don't know why it keeps crashing, but I haven't had any problems in all these years. And no, well, the Facebook thing, we've had a few challenges, but we'll see if they sort it out. Hope everybody's doing amazing. It's a beautiful day we had here in the Greater Teal. Nice sunny warm day. As we're moving towards the cooler and cooler days of old man winter upon us, it's very soon. Next month we'll start the winter month. Another beautiful season for us to enjoy. So yeah, lots of interesting things always happening with our on this beautiful Mother Earth planet. If anybody's there, you can give me a thumbs up. Very interesting times, that's for sure. Seen a lot of interesting things coming from people all over. A lot of confusion. A lot of confusion as to, what is the truth? Lots of confusion. And it makes we the people just wander in all many different directions, running around with like a chicken with his head cut off. Don't know which way to go because there's no clear vision. And unless we establish some clear vision, we're always going to have some confusion in our lives. And, there's always challenges and changes that happen. Confusion, we need to just sit down and breathe less, go into a nice meditative prayer state, and look for answers. Best would be in a fasting state and look for answers, because with all the fasting I've done, and you go through phases where you just having challenges to start. We've all been through that. It's so nice when you're in that fasting state. So nice. It's just beautiful. And the more obstructive we eat, the more difficult it gets to fast. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. The first day, 2 days, 3 days, it's when all the monkey mind starts going cuckoo on us, and all the reasons why we need to eat and break our fast. And we need to embrace it and allow it. Just watch it. Just the monkey mind playing their games. Just watch it going by like a river or a stream. It's not us. Nothing to do with us. It's just the monkey mind playing games. And also, could be parasites involved. If you look at any of the documentary on parasites, how they induce chemicals into the physicality of their host and bring on changes in the thinking of the host and make the host do all kinds of things so that the parasites can maintain their survival in the host. Very interesting how creation works. Now I know, why do we have parasites? Well, there must be a reason. And the reason most definitely is we're doing something that's not in line with our divine design. It's just not in line with it. So we go off balance and voila. So fasting lifestyle will help us realize through the revelations that it brings forth for ourselves. It's just amazing how much information comes forth when we go into our fasting state. And it's just a beautiful time. Beautiful time. Anybody got any questions, suggestions, inspirations, or whatever you want to share? It's always wonderful to hear other people's experiences in their fasts and how they overcame challenges. And of course, we hear challenges of what people are going through, and we're all going to go through challenges. No big deal. Embrace them. Some of us are going to go through major challenges. Myself, I went through some major challenges, a few times. So I hear you, but what we can assure you, if your will to live and to move in the direction of health and balance is strong, you're always going to come out stronger after a fast. Always. It's just the way it is. Fasting brings forth balance on all levels. All levels. Physical, mental, emotional. And I've only seen the opposite happen with all foods, all diets. You're going to have much less of a degree with cleaner, least obstructive diets. That's for sure. But not that there's not going to be any challenges. People go into fruitarianism or raw foodism, and they have many, many challenges. Is because we're not able to purge at the level, at the cellular level, at the mental, physical, mental, emotional levels, to restore balance, to purge out the reasons why there's those imbalances. And we go into a cleaner diet, we can detox up to a certain level of the obstructiveness of the foods we're eating. More or less. It's usually you're not going to get down to that level because there's a plateau with any type of diet. Diets tells you right in the word, diet. So Fasting is a lifestyle. Fasting is so much more than we can describe, and so much more that people can never believe unless they experience it. And even though we experience it, life happens. We go through many different challenges, and those challenges can affect our fasting lifestyle. We can allow them to affect our because it's always up to us if we allow it or not. And yeah, it can be difficult to get through some situations, for sure, because we don't live in a fasting lifestyle society. You know, there are some religions that practice fasting regularly, but I think it's far and few that actually do the fasting as is taught through their religious ways. So, you know, embrace the fasting lifestyle. It's the only thing we can suggest. Fall off the wagon, jump back on. Jump back on. No big deal. You know. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? We, you know, when we started crawling, you know, as babies, then we started to walk. You know, we didn't give up every time we fell. We continued to get up and try again until we succeeded. So have that determination with the fasting lifestyle. With a lifestyle that you want to be in that healthy, wonderful state again. Because it's no fun being, you know, in pain, misery. It's just not fun. So we want to be in that wonderful, spirited state that's going to drive us and continue to drive us to move in the direction that's going to allow us to shift our state in that direction on an ongoing basis. Because it's not something we're going to achieve and it's done. It's not going to happen that way. It's, you know, once we feel that we've achieved it and we're in a healthy state, if we don't maintain it and we go back to our old ways, guess what? We're going to have a big surprise in the you know, near future. Not fun. You know, we've been, you know, I've been down those paths myself several times, you know, from healthy to, you know, just most of the time trying to get myself in a healthy state, listening to all kinds of different information out there. But there's so much of it out there right now. It's just, wow. You know, for example, the ketogenic thing is so popular again. This is something that came out of, I think, originally from the 60s or 70s, and then it was lost and it's revamped again. You know, we want to justify all the reasons to eat the things that we want to eat. And those justifications do not mean that they have anything to do with facts or truth. It's just that they're things we want to believe because we enjoy eating those certain things. You know, eating all those fats, man, oh man, you think it's not. Fat is one of the most addictive things. Just, you just love eating anything with fat in it. Fat and salt becomes very addictive. Fats and sugar. It's also very addictive. More damaging when you mix the fat with the sugar. It's one of the worst combinations we can do. So we want to avoid that at all costs, right? There's interesting things. Food combining is very important. A lot of us have challenges with food combining. In the plant kingdom, people are, that are eating vegetarian and or vegan, or, even raw food is, a lot of us will tend to mix things that are not the greatest. And then we're going to wonder, well, why isn't this diet working? Well, the mixes are not kosher, they're not good. And they cause all kinds of challenges and problems. Fat and sugar is a big one. Fat and sweet. Even the natural, talk to fruit sugars and stuff, mixing nuts with fruits and stuff like that, and sweet fruits. You're not going to end up liking the way you feel eating these things on an ongoing basis. If it happens, let's say, on an occasional time, 2-3 times a year, okay, your body, but if you're doing it regularly, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. It's going to catch up to you sooner or later. And it's why we see all the negative propaganda and these people putting down these lifestyles, because the main component is not a healthy food combining lifestyle. Mono eating is the easiest and the best. That's why you're going to see people who eat very simple, even if they're carnivores, they eat very simple, a steak and salad, and that's all they eat. They will tend to feel better. Eventually catches up to you over the years, but tentatively they're going to feel better than somebody eating a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, a raw food lifestyle, mixing all kinds of things in a horrible fashion. The body cannot handle all those different, let's call them chemistries of the different foods, cannot handle it very well. Some people may be able to handle it better than others, and that's why we see what we see. Genetics, environments, and so on and so forth play a huge role. But food combining is important, very important. See your Italian wedding, and you have all the improper food combining all in one day, and then they give you the fruit at the end to really try and give you a heart attack, I guess. So all improper food combining. So we got to be careful. Food combining is the key component why people don't sustain a healthy lifestyle as vegetarian, veganism, or fruitarianism. The fruitarianism also has the other component of not being able to access ripe fruit. If you can't access ripe fruit, you're not going to stick to a fruitarian lifestyle. So it's going to be challenging and difficult. In large city like the Toronto area, you can get pretty good fruit most of the time, not always. Most of the time you can find some grapefruit, but not always. Sometimes you go and there's nothing there. So what are you going to do if you want to eat? I guess you can fast more. Yeah, absolutely. With the prices of things the way they've gone in the last few years, prices have gone crazy, 2, 3, 4 times in some cases. the cost of some fruits and foods and so on and so forth. So taking up a lifestyle of less is more now is more important than ever. If your finances are tight, fast more, and it's only going to get you healthier. It's only going to get you healthier when you do it prudently. Prudent fasting. Remember, we only advocate prudent fasting. That's why we have a protocol and a lifestyle system where you choose one of your levels and you work on that level. You can go plus or minus from the level you choose. If let's say you choose level 3, you go to level 4, 5, 6, 7. You go come down back to level 3. Go down to level 2. Sometimes maybe level 1. Sometimes you may, I didn't do any levels this week. Next week comes, these things will happen, and it's all part of living a fasting lifestyle. Eating too much cooked food, and then next day, guess what? You're going to have cravings for more cooked food, more heavy, obstructive cooked foods. The more heavier, the more obstructive, the more cravings you will have to eat those foods. So we always have to choose what we need to do for that day and make the choice to stay on that decision that we made for that day. So if we choose to fast today, let's stay on the fasting. If our mind is wandering, we're in the kitchen and so on, go out for a walk, get yourself busy so you don't need to keep your focus on food. Just get busy, do something. It's so easy to be distracted, especially when we're stressed. And what can cause stress is so many things in our lives. From things happening with our partners or children, family members, other family members, other friends, things that happen in their lives, work, what's happening around the world. Many, many things can bring stresses in our lives. So we need to have a system where we can reduce our stress, and fasting will help with that. Meditation and prayer is going to help big time. Having a solid foundation in our faith with the divine creator is going to help us with that. So each one will have to find their own paths and to keep sustaining their belief system. Some people say they don't believe in a creator. Okay. Well, even let's say the creator does not exist, it's not going to cost you anything to have that faith. It will only help you when we look at the longest living parts of the world. A religious belief, and was the thing that they all had in common. That was the big thing, number one thing, and the strong family ties and so on and so forth. Talking about the Blue Zones again. That's very interesting because we have to look at why are these people living longer? Why are some people's lives shortened so much? Accidents and so on and so forth. We can't look at that, but there's specific things they do in their life. And those are part of it. Eating mostly a fruit and veggie based diet that's locally grown or grown themselves was another part. It's another thing. I was growing sprouts for so many years, and growing my own gardens and growing everything with ocean water. And when you buy things from the supermarkets, there's no real life force in these foods. They're just fillers fillers that we need to use energy to get them working through our bodies, through our physicality. And that's why stimulants are so popular. Stimulating diets are so popular. Carnivore diets, ketogenic diets, paleo diets, which is carnivore diet, chemical stimulants, coffee, chocolates, alcohol. These are very, very, very popular these days because of the void of, real quality grown foods grown without chemicals and so on and so forth, that are nutrient rich. We use the word nutrients, but we know nutrition is a myth because we remove all the nutrition and the body can heal. We add all the nutrition and what happens? The body is looking for more and more and more and more and more. It's just so interesting how and what the things we've been taught. Very interesting. Anyway, if anybody's got any questions, or we just call it a night. And thank you so much for joining. Let's continue sending PLAF to the European area. And hopefully we can resolve that very quickly with peace, balance, and correct conduct, because there's no other way for us to move forward without that. So thank you so much, everybody.
Gino,
have a great evening.
Barbara. Oh yeah, I have a question because you look at, like, here's the documentary, Living on Light, right? 2-hour documentary with all these scientists and doctors and all, showing that people can live without food. And then you have all these videos of, the children in Africa who are starving to death. And I think how to get people to, how to fix it, how to get people together about what's good. And I think that we need to be attractive to people, if we're like being doom and gloom or depressing or how terrible things are, we got to be actual proof, the light and the joy, and to attract people to hear what we're saying and to work together more, to have more people, because people want to feel good. I see that in Toastmasters. I mean, even the humorous speech contest, it's not how many laughs you can get from people. The people that win are the people that relax other people the most and make them feel good.
Oh yeah.
That's
Austin, you brought that up. Like, I was talking about the Blue Zones. Family unit was very important. Well, what do families do? They socialize together, they eat together, they laugh, they cry,
laugh together.
That's that strong tie that they feel fulfilled. They feel like there's a need for to be with each other, and that gives them a drive for life. And people that living on their own, they don't have that strong family unit. And that's why they get so much depression out there and everything else. They go to drugs or whatever. I don't know. There's
but we have you. We have you to turn to as family, like on Friday nights.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here. We're here to help people who want to be in the support, and we also need that as well. We're not here just to be. It goes both ways, and that's why we started this group many years ago and started sharing everything, and all the rah yaha is all gone, and that's what most people are looking for, and that's why we don't have the audience that we used to have. People are looking for drama. They're looking for all that.
Or they're looking to feel good, they're looking to be encouraged, inspired,
Yeah, and that's why people turn to stimulants, right? But stimulants are not going to sustain us. We need to take action in our own lives and move in a direction that's going to keep us in the direction of moving in that direction of balance. And that's what we have to do on an ongoing basis. And, family, this is...
I once got to be, I was in Orlando and there were two conferences going on. One was Toastmasters, the people who are training to be great communicators, great speakers. And the other one was AmeriCorps, which is a Peace Corps in America. And the people from AmeriCorps, when they would speak, because they were talking about victories that they created in neighborhoods, you know, and they were talking from their hearts and their lives, were actually the better speakers, you know, the superior speakers.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's what, yeah, that's partly what you're saying. So yeah, I hope to be able to communicate more, learn how to communicate more of the joy that, yeah, that we get to feel and the good that we get to see.
Yeah, communication is very important. You know, I'm not the best communicator, but I've been able to, you know, communicate enough for, you know, to bring a quite a large audience over all these years.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, like I said, I'm not the best communicator, and
nice, good. Breathe it in. Ah, thank you. Yes, it's true. So when you get a compliment, you breathe it in and you smile and you go, yes, it's true.
So yeah, so how you doing, Barbara? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to go to Tennessee and be with my 3 grandchildren. The one's turning 3, the other one just turned 1, and the baby's turning 4 months. Or 5 months. You know? Yeah, and I hope, you know, to be a help, you know.
Awesome. That's awesome. You know, it's you know, for me, I've always loved all the family gatherings, even as a child, you know, going to our cousins and homes and uncles and aunts and so on and so forth. You know, it was always awesome. Looking forward to those times. Always times, you know, getting together for whatever event. You know, but these days, and you know, it's usually only funerals and weddings that we get together. What happened to all that? You know, it's all gone. It's, for the most part, it's all gone. So
you want to hear something funny? You know, I come from a Jewish background, and my friends are from Brazil, and they wanted to Brazilian Catholics, and they wanted to celebrate Yom Kippur with me. So like, we didn't have a shofar to blow, but the kid plays trumpet. So he blew the trumpet, and we were eating apples and honey because that's supposed to bring in a sweet year. And we got this sense of family and tradition and celebration. And then tomorrow I'm going to a Brazilian Catholic celebration. And the last time my friend brought me with her, because she wants me to feel the spirit that she grew up with. You know, the priest said, "You don't speak Portuguese and you're here." He said, "You must be a saint." You know? Yeah, I forgot to breathe it in and go, "Thank you. Yes, that's true." But yeah, I've been trying to, you know, we need to celebrate with each other, because when you ask people, you know, what was a happy time in your life? Like, most people will go back to like some sort of thing that brought the family together, some kind of religious celebration, and doesn't matter what religion, you know, it's that sense of what you were saying, you know, the thing with family, and you got your rituals, you know, you got your tradition, you look forward to it. But yeah, now's the time we need to like share with other people more. And my daughter's friends who grew up being Seventh-day Adventists, they wanted to eat Jewish food. So Sarah and my daughter, were going, yeah, what's Jewish food? You know, what do we get? So I got them what I ate when I was little, which was a lot of smoked fish, you know, lox and whitefish. And I watched, they were glad they were here. You know? They liked this stuff that was, you know, sweet. Yeah, the harosis, which is apples and walnuts. And then I add some Manischewitz wine with some honey. I don't know what you think of that, but yeah, my son was, "Oh, you've got to make that. That's Jewish food. That's great." And, you know, but we all felt really good the next day, even though the food wasn't so possibly appreciated. I mean, nobody said that, I just noticed, yeah, how much was left over, what people, were even scared to taste. But it was funny. We felt like we created something beautiful. We were all part of a creation together that was good. And it wasn't about the food. It's about that getting together. We've had birthday parties where the birthday cake was an amazing fruit thing or something that was made of acai, tried to make beautifully, trying right to put candles in. Now people aren't so happy about spitting all over the food, when you blow out the candles, right? But yeah, how to make these traditions so we're sharing with each other, we're trusting with each other like that.
Right. Family. In the last 3 years, they've divided so many people. It's absolutely bizarre and crazy. It's just we move forward and we start, it would be great if, people started, putting more emphasis on family unit, because it is very important, very important. What is a family? That's
we had a Passover where the majority of the people were coming from Haiti, and they just were interested. I was interested in sharing what was beautiful. Like I love the one that says in the traditions, it says, what's the difference between the wise person and the wicked person? And they say the wicked person comes over and goes, why are you doing this? And the wise person comes over and goes, why are we doing this? And I, just little things like that I wanted to share. And unfortunately, the person whose house we went to, because they had they seemed to have a wonderful big table, so a lot of people could come around. They wanted to talk about all the bad things about, that they knew about Jewish men and all. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm trying to share. I'm trying to share the beauty and the joy. We know bad stuff already,
Yeah, it's all there. It's all around us. So it's best we focus on all the good, of course. But we need to be aware of all the other, crap that's around us, but focus on where we want to be and where, all the good stuff, because,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I talked to Raina about that we were going to create like a community, a wonderful school, an organic farming community somewhere in the Middle East sometime in the future. But I've seen the impossible dreams. They said, if you're not praying for what's impossible, then you're not harnessing, acknowledging the power of prayer.
Right.
For this extent. Yeah. So, and I've seen so many things I prayed for come about when I thought they were impossible. So I'm going to stay focused on that still.
Yeah. We shoot for the stars. We may land on one of the planets. We may not hit the stars. So it's always wonderful. But yeah, let's focus more on family, getting our family bonds stronger and stronger, and spending more time with family. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to see some families, so have some good times, and it's awesome.
I love spending time with you. It makes me happy to see you smile. And to make you laugh makes me happy. Sometimes I say, let's see if I can make 5 people today laugh. And it helps me laugh if I can do that.
Yeah, go back to when we were children. We're laughing all the time. All the time, every day. It's just what happened after a certain time, we forgot how to laugh. So we need more laughter for sure. We need to have more joy in our lives. There's the stories of people who, were, given a death sentence, and then they just watched funny movies and they laughed themselves back to health.
Yeah, Norman Cousins.
Yeah. So, laughter is important.
That started laughter yoga. Dr. Katari in India was studying. He wanted to help his people so bad. And then he found Norman Cousins and he said, then he created laughter yoga, and now it's around the world.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
Wow.
my grandson, he seems like he could be a little on the autistic spectrum, but he can get himself laughing sometimes and just keep himself laughing over something real silly that he sees, and I just, so I just laugh along with him.
That must be a ball, laughter yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Laughing's contagious, right?
Yeah. Well, you want to see how easy it is? And it's like, you don't even have to be really laughing because something's just, bubbling up from inside you, joy, because of something that made you happy. All you need is a kiwi, a banana, and a good old gospel hallelujah. So if you want to try it with me, you put your fingers in your cheeks and you go with the banana, ba, na,
Nah.
na, like banana, ba, na, na. And then we want to go into our giggly selves because we're coming to Halloween, right? So you put your fingers in your cheeks and you use the kiwi and you go, key. Do it. Key. And one more time. Key.
It works.
And then for the hallelujah, now you're going to have a big belly laugh, a raucous belly laugh. So this time you put your hand on your belly and you go, ha. Do it with me. Ha.
Ah.
Lay. Lou.
Ah, lay. Lou. Yeah. So this is how they started?
And this is how I do it, because your body doesn't really know, what is making you laugh, but it starts increasing endorphins and starts eliminating cortisol and neural pathways, are starting to build that brings you to joy and happiness. So
wow, awesome.
Easier, and it's healing. That's how I found laughter yoga. I had been in a lot of pain, and I was trying to figure out, I couldn't get rid of it for like 2 weeks, and someone was going to talk to me about some natural painkiller, and I go downstairs to where the parking lot is. I'm going to show them where to park, and I hear this laughing from like behind these bushes, because I live next to a community center, and there's outside, there's a little amphitheater, and I peek over and I'm, come, join us. And it's just, we don't do it for more than 20 minutes, and outside's the best, and nature's the best. But I go over there, and the last 10 minutes, I'm playing, I'm laughing with people, and I walk away and I realized the pain was gone.
Wow.
I was like, that was my hook to start learning how to be a laughter yogini. And something I had been praying for, when I was little, being a Holocaust survivor child. Irena went through some stuff like that too, I know, but it's like I was diagnosed as a child that didn't seem to be able to laugh or smile. And when I met this Japanese woman, she's like, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, we're gonna take what's poison in our lives and we're gonna turn it into medicine for ourselves and other people. And I knew there was a lot of importance to fasting. I knew that, I saw that, experienced that. But I didn't know that, I'm saying how to get people to heal. This has always been something that, I've wanted to do. And so now I get to teach laughter yoga. And when I was saying,
that's one important facet of, healing for sure. Laughter.
I used to try to campaign outside of football games, and I'd say, come on, let's play games where nobody has to end up going to the hospital or hurt, and men, women, and children can play, and it'll make us all more affectionate and happier and more bonded. Let's win-win for everybody. And people just thought I was crazy, but I was offered the position of having my own, in the school newspaper, having my own little spot called Dear Gabby. And when someone asked what time, do you think high school kids need to go to bed? And I said, well, when they know they're tired. I lost that position, but it's like, how am I going to, how, so I was praying, but I didn't know how I was ever going to, it seemed impossible to get people to play games like that. And then one day I'm leading a laughter yoga circle, and I realized, man, sometimes your prayers just come up from behind you and, right, and go, ha, see, I'm here. I've seen that a few times. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, there's many facets, for health. Diet's a very small thing, food, very small. Fasting is an important part where most people don't even know what fasting is. They think that you'll die without eating for a few hours. And then there's like the family life, the religious belief in Creator.
Yeah.
There's environments, air we breathe, movement. There's so many facets of a healthy lifestyle and how to heal. And in Masterfast, we've touched on many aspects of that. I don't know if we have actually laughter written in there, but I think that's an important part that we probably missed out. It's not that we missed out writing it, but we've always talked about you have to have joy in your life. You have to have laughter. Like I've always talked about how we laughed so much when we were children, and then as adults we don't laugh. Like children laugh, I don't know, hundreds of times a day. Whereas we're lucky if we laugh, in a whole day one time. So yeah, it's we great to move in the direction of laughter, having more laughter in our lives.
Some Indian tribe had a laughing baby ceremony where when a baby was born, they all get together, the tribe gets together, and they pass the baby around and try to laugh with the baby. Yeah, that seems funny to me. But you know what I'm finding out to help people heal? There's something about compassionate words with physical touch, with a compassionate touch that helps people release trauma. And they don't have to be counterphobic or something that traumatized them. Yeah. And I don't know if I shared this, but yeah, I was once near someone when I was hitchhiking around the country that was killed by a bear. And I went around for 3 days. I'm like studying how long their nails are and how sharp their teeth are. And it's like I was looking for bears to fight, walking through the woods, like, come on, bears, I can handle this. And then the third night around a campfire, a woman comes up to me and she says, you were right there when that happened. And I said, yeah. And she touches me, and she at the same time, she says, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. The first time with her touch and her words made me cry. And then all of a sudden it was like I was waking up, all of a sudden I could breathe again. My feet were on the ground. I didn't have to fight bears anymore. And they say, like, all these girls you see in the street, that, it's like something traumatized them, being molested traumatized them when they were little, and they're still like fighting bears. So like, come on, I can handle this. And guys that go into bars and they're like, what are you looking at? You want to fight? We're traumatized by violence. And these people have not, they're still out there like fighting bears, looking for bears to fight. They haven't been released from things that traumatize them. And people are starting to talk about that and talk about the science behind the compassionate words and the touch.
Yeah, and that's an important thing because that's why a lot of people are sick. They're holding on to all these traumas that they've experienced in their lives and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and it takes courage to be a healer. It takes courage to, touch someone who's acting crazy.
Fasting is the only thing that I've seen that is able to bring out all these things so we can release them. And now,
yeah, me too. I've seen that too.
So, all these other tools are all wonderful, and we support all that stuff that to us, touch, massage, wonderful words and support, and all these things are very, very important. And why is that missing? Because we don't have family life anymore. We don't have strong family ties. The family was all part of it.
I know that when I fasted 36 days on water, and what I told people is, and this was, when I was in my 20s and my mid 70s now, but and I think that's part of the reason my son, people go, he's so enlightened, you know, and I thought that was from my fasting, you know, before I conceived him. But I would tell people I became such a good person because I would feel really good in my body. And someone could come into my environment, they could be angry or they could be tense. And I wouldn't reflect that. I wouldn't pick up on that. You know, I would continue to feel good and I could have more compassion for other people. And I saw I had much more lung capacity. I had greater endurance. I was dancing. I saw I had amazing flexibility. But it's funny, you can experience something like that, you can see it, and then you can go about your life and forget that I saw that. And yeah, I know that's real.
Outside of the mind. So easy to forget things. Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, let's call it a night, Barbara. And it's so
Yes.
nice to see you again. Thank you for that little bit of laughter. Yeah. It's always wonderful to have a laugh. You know, mushrooms are magic mushrooms. People have a laugh at those.
They seem kind to me. They seem healing. You have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams. Have a wonderful week.
So long, everybody. Keep sending the laugh out. Let's have a laugh. And let's have more joy in our lives. Ciao, ciao.
Yes.
See you back
Ciao.
on the page. See you back on the next call, Wednesday, Facebook Live. Ciao.
Ciao.